You know, I didn't think I needed to make this video, but a few things have come to my attention as of recent. Apparently, Georgia Gent doesn't have his own thing. Kind of like how Ashton and Jensen's has perfected the Jim from The Office look to a T, is perfect, and how Ross at TLTG Reviews has perfected the shine off the top of his head after a shave. Or how JC can pretty much guide anyone into doing anything at all. If he's not doing audiobooks, he should be, in my opinion. But what is Georgia Gent's thing? My thing is that I am the next big thing, whether you like it or not. And on that note, I'm gonna go into this list of 10 affordable and inoffensive fragrances that you can wear. Let's get into it. Number 10 on this list goes to one of the most inoffensive fragrances that you can have on your skin. It is a very citrus opening with a very woody light dry down. With top notes of clary sage, Italian mandarin, and nutmeg. Hard notes of fir balsam, pink pepper, and rosemary. With base notes of vetiver and cedarwood. With those notes you get Mankind Legacy by Kenneth Cole. And as you will see here, it's a very nice clean looking bottle. On the side here you have your metal and with a decent atomizer. Just by the bottle itself, I could tell that this is going to be just a fresher kind of take on a fragrance. I thought it might have a bit of a metallic note. This is just based off the bottle, but no, it's nice, it's pleasant. It opens with a very pleasant citrus-like opening with a very woodsy dry down and that sits pretty close to the skin. It's like Sprite minus a punch. It's like going to Burger King and getting Sprite versus going to McDonald's. It doesn't have that zing to it, but it is very pleasant whilst being inoffensive. And also probably the most expensive one on this list. And again, guys, that was Mankind Legacy by Kenneth Cole. Now, number 9 on this list goes to one of the most affordable EDPs on the market. With notes of bergamot, neroli, and cashmere woods, this fragrance is defined as venturing outdoors after a fresh rainfall. Number 9 goes to Seneca by Duke Cannon. And as you'll see here, it's a very nice little bottle. It has a nice matte finish with the label on there. And on the back here, you'll see that it is an aquatic and that it is an EDP concentration fragrance. Very to the point. It's one of the best like out of the shower kind of fragrances that I have, but it lasts a long time. Like most Duke Cannon fragrances that I have, they sit pretty close to the skin, but they last for a while. Now, this is one that I put on quite a few times, and each time I put it on, it fills the room when I put it on, but that really quickly dies down, and it creates a very nice scent bubble that sits really close to the skin, which if you're looking for something that's inoffensive, this is really good to go with. On top of that, it's super cheap. And again, guys, that is Seneca by Duke Cannon. And number 8 is going to go to a fragrance that is a lot like Dior Fahrenheit, minus the Dior Fahrenheit Violet Leaf note. I want to see that's what it is, minus the petrol gasoline note. And again, opens with a bright citrus opening that really pulls you in while sitting close to the skin and being very inoffensive. With top notes of bergamot, lemon, and mandarin, hard notes of pepper, nutmeg, violet, and galbanum, base notes of cedarwood, vetiver, and patchouli, you get Mercedes-Benz for men. Now, this is a very pleasant citrus fragrance. It's very uplifting to me. It's one that when I spray it, I just feel better. I feel nice, clean, kind of fragrance that I feel like I can put on like a white button up with. Honestly, y'all, it's a very good design on this thing. Like you see up here, down here, they have the Mercedes-Benz engraved into the bottle. Let's take this off, and now this is a fragrance that you can spray pretty heavy and it'd be hard pressed to offend anybody that's around you. There's not really a note in this that I can find offensive. Maybe like the pepper, possibly if someone that's around you is, you know, sensitive to pepper, but it's nothing that's overbearing, it's nothing that's gonna make anybody sneeze around you or anything. And again, guys, that was Mercedes-Benz for men. And number 7 on this list is a fragrance that I wore pretty heavily last winter. It was one that I didn't really wear on my skin very often, but I sprayed inside my jacket most days, especially on days where I was wearing woody soft fragrances. This complements them very well. And what we have next is a pretty simple note breakdown. You have your cypress and your cedar, and you get Banana Republic, cypress, and cedar. Now this bottle that you have here is pretty nice. It has like even a nice little bumper for the heavy cap they have right here. As I said before, this is a very nice fragrance. It's good for layering with other woodsy soft fragrances. It won't be the best for simply just having on your skin. It's gonna be really good with layering for things. Like I'll put this onto my jacket versus putting it on my skin when I'm wearing something else that has primarily a woody style base to it. This is a fragrance that I would put onto my clothes. Again, guys, that is Banana Republic, cypress, and cedar. And number 6 on this list is an affordable Creed Aventus style fragrance. It opens with some clear citrus, some clear musk, and a pretty obvious amount of green notes. With top notes of bergamot, blackcurrant, heart notes of mint, green apple, base notes of ambroxan, musk, and patchouli, you get Mercedes-Benz Select. Now with the bergamot, blackcurrant, and the green apple, you can tell what this is similar to. It's similar to Creed Aventus, but it has a bit of a darker dry down. It doesn't have that creamy vanilla. It would be a bit of a darker, non-smoky batch of Aventus that performs poorly. And by poor performance, I mean something that you're gonna want to respray. I just really enjoy the DNA and the fact that it's not overly powering, it's not overly loud. And I've yet to find anyone that this scent DNA offends. And again, guys, that was Mercedes-Benz Select. And number 5 on this list is a fragrance that I've just recently learned how to pronounce. so I'm gonna say it right in this list. It's a fragrance that has a bit of a fresh citrus in the opening, along with kind of a spiciness there that, like, when I'm wearing it, the spiciness really starts to shine, but it creates a very positive sillage, a very nice sillage. With top notes of lime, lemon, and clary sage, mid notes of cinnamon, lavender blossom, star jasmine, and gardenia, base notes of sandalwood, cedarwood, cashmere woods, and musk. You get A-Lister by Dan Brazilian. Now, this is also a pheromone-based fragrance, and if you've ever used a pheromone-based fragrance, you know exactly what I mean by that. It's one of those stock bottles. It's very simple. Even the atomizer is pretty bland. The scent is nothing to write home about, which makes it one of the lesser offensive fragrances that I have in my collection. It's just really easy to wear, and the scent trail from this is very pleasant. It dries down in that spicy. The cinnamon that's there is a smooth cinnamon. It's not something that's going to be piercing or really inoffensive, I don't think, in my opinion. And that is A-Lister, right, guys? And again, guys, that is A-Lister. And number 4 on this list goes to a fragrance that I got this year. It is a 2020 release, a summer release. It has a weird atomizer. Can't spray it like normal. It has the coconut in the opening. The scent smells like a summer scent. By the way, if you guys can't tell, I'm pretty sunburned. I actually went out to the beach and put on a bit of sunscreen for the first time in a while, and I kind of forgot what sunscreen smells like. When people say that Virgin Island water smells like sunscreen, it was not how what I put on smelled at all. It was it was a very potent scent, but it was not like Creed Virgin Island water. It didn't have that vibe whatsoever. And with top notes of star anise, sage, and bergamot, mid notes of osmanthus, saffron, coconut nectar, base notes of albananum, labdanum, and sandalwood, you get Eternity for Men Summer. Very nice, guys. The coconut nectar in this is very pleasant. It's not quite like your coconut like you would have from like Virgin Island water or from anything else like that. It is a bit of like a pulpier coconut that sits very close to the skin, and like I've said, this would make it like a perfect like white t-shirt off day kind of scent or office scent. Honestly, this could be a great signature scent for the office because it's very clean, it's very fresh. Yeah, it's very nice. And again, guys, that fragrance is Eternity for Men Summer 2020. And number 3 on this list goes to a fragrance that is also like Creed Aventus, but after the opening it has a bit of a twist, more to a sweeter, creamier kind of fragrance. And again, this is one that falls victim to sitting very close to the skin. But in terms of this list, that is kind of what we're going for here. We're going for something that's not going to be a projection beast of a fragrance. It's not going to be something that's going to be super loud, but it is pleasant and inoffensive. And with top notes of bergamot, pineapple, and white pepper, mid notes of lavender, rose, and myrrh, base notes of patchouli, birch, and amber, you can see what this is supposed to be like, guys. You can just pineapple, birch, amber, come on now. It's meant to be like Creed Aventus, but there's a twist to it. It goes to America by Perry Ellis. So now the opening of this is going to reminds me a lot of Creed Aventus, like a sweeter pineapple version of Creed Aventus. But in the dry down is where it kind of flips into more of like a creamier, sweeter fragrance that I think is from the amber. But like I said before, the performance on this is kind of lackluster. Like, it's not going to project out very heavily, but it also won't offend anyone that's around you. And again, that is America by Perry Ellis. The 2019 release, not the 92 release. And number 2 on this list goes to a fragrance that is tried and true in the workplace. It's one that's been worn since like the 80s, like 88 to be exact. With top notes of lavender, coriander, peppermint, rosemary, and orange blossom. Hard notes of jasmine, oak moss, geranium, sandalwood. Base notes of amber, musk, sandalwood, and cedar. You get Davidoff Cool Water. Now, one of the most tried and true work office fragrances that you can have in your collection. It is very inoffensive and very cheap. But basically, if you want a fragrance that is very similar to Green Irish Tweed that can offend probably no one around you, it's right here. It's a great one to go with. Again, guys, that is Davidoff Cool Water. And again, guys, that is Davidoff Cool Water. Now, number 1 on this list is probably going to be the least offensive, while also being the most affordable on this entire list. And it's also a style of fragrance that doesn't get talked about a lot here on YouTube. Not that I've seen, at least. I haven't seen any kind of fragrances like this make any kind of list. And this brand being very affordable and quality, I couldn't not mention it on this list. And if we're going for affordable and inoffensive, this is going to be number 1. Number 1 is going to go to a solid cologne by Duke Cannon. And as you'll see here, the scent is naval supremacy. It's manifested for the traveling man and made in the USA. And it is a concentrated cologne balm that I have been using a fair bit recently. I tend to apply this pretty generously, going over pulse points, my veins, at certain spots. But for me, it projects very well, very close though. Like, not something that reaches out very far. It projects pretty good off my skin. But again, it doesn't reach out very far. Which, this is perfect for the office setting. Perfect. This is gonna be the best 100% on this list. The only issue there is that it might not last quite as long. Even then, it's kind of toss up because some days it's lasting me like 2 hours, some days it's lasting me all 12 hours. It all depends on how much I'm moving around, how much it gets rubbed off. It all depends. And again, guys, that is Duke Cannon Solid Cologne. Now, they also have this in bourbon if you're into more of those kind of fragrances versus your fresh aquatic kind of fragrances. So guys, that is that. I hope you found this video informative or entertaining. If you have, be sure to hit the like down below. Possibly subscribe if you want to see more like this. Y'all, like I always say, keep it gent, and love your scent, and I'll see you all next time.